Hi everyone, and welcome. We are today chatting with British online women's champion Akshaya Kalaiyalahan. A big welcome, Akshaya.
Thanks, Natasha.
And thanks for being with us. Just to start, how long have you been playing chess, Akshaya?
Since I was about 8 years old, so it's been about 12 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you immediately like it, or was it something that you kind of grew to like more over the years?
I actually liked it immediately. So I started playing chess at school. So like none of my parents or anything really knew how to play chess. So it was more, I was sort of the first one in my family to really learn and play tournaments. But I joined my school club, and then my teacher there sent me to a tournament. I think it was the UK Chess Challenge actually. And then after that, I loved playing it so much that I continued.
Oh, so wow, that's really interesting. So if the school hadn't played chess, you probably wouldn't be playing today.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Wow.
Same with me, actually. It's how I got into chess. And again, it was my teacher who said, hey, there are chess tournaments, and wouldn't it be worth trying? And yeah, actually, same thing. After the first chess tournament, then I thought, yeah, that's where I want to be. It's really a big thing, I think, your first chess tournament. It really makes a big difference. I think that's the thing that lets you know whether you're going to love it or whether it's just going to be just something normal.
Yeah. And how do you find? So we've been playing, I suppose, mainly online chess for the last couple of years now with coronavirus and lockdown. How do you find online chess? Do you enjoy that, or do you like over the board better, or what do you think?
To be honest, I don't mind playing online chess. I've played online for NCL and stuff, so it's fine. But I prefer over the board just because it's just better to be able to actually see your opponent in person. I can actually get myself into that competitive mindset. Whereas if I'm playing online, because when I play online, I mostly play for fun or to practice openings. And when I'm playing tournaments, I find it difficult to kind of shift and actually realize that I actually am playing like an actual tournament and I'm not playing for fun or playing for practice. So to actually get myself into that mood to play, I think I prefer playing over the board chess. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
Yeah. How do you get yourself into that competitive mood? Is that a natural thing for you?
I mean, it's kind of easy with stuff like the British Championships because you're actually on Zoom. So you can't just sort of laze about and do whatever you want because you actually, you're on Zoom, you know that you are like playing a competitive game. But it's difficult actually. I struggle with the 4NCL mostly. But I think now that I've got more practice on playing online chess, I find it easier to actually get into that competitive mindset.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, actually, it was always really important to actually travel to the place I was playing, because it was during that trip that I got myself, psyched up and thinking, oh, I'm going to something, and yeah, I mean, just playing from home, and you just sit down in front of your board, and then you've got to play. I find it tough as well. I do find that very, very difficult from online chess. It's, I mean, how about you, Natasha? Have you managed to get yourself motivated for online stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, I play sort of various different games, but for me, I'm sort of less sort of really competitive in the way of wanting to beat my opponent. I don't. That's not really me. I'm more kind of, if I get interested and fascinated in the game, and then I really want to do well at it, then that's and then I can play like when something really grabs my interest, I can just play it for hours and hours and game after game, and that's when I do best. It's I mean, I am sort of quite competitive, but it's not. I know with you psych yourself up into a frenzy and want to kill the person, and I'm kind of more like I want to just get into the game itself and enjoy myself and sort of have fun.
I think she was talking to me, by the way, Akshaya.
No, not you, Akshaya. No, you might. Do you, Akshaya?
Probably not to that extent, but I do want to really beat my opponent, so I do try to like really psych myself up and get into that mindset.
Yeah.
No, because it's you know, it is tough. You have to be concentrated every single move in a game, you know, and what I find with online chess actually is that everything just is very variable. You know, I play a few good moves, and then afterwards I just sort of lose track of it, and you know, and get distracted, and then everything goes wrong again. And over the board, it doesn't happen so much. I mean, you've got your opponent there in front of you. You can see him looking happy, so you don't want him to feel like that. You want so yeah, no, it's totally different. And what I do like as well, feeling the vibes of the opponent, and feeling what they're feeling, and sort of judging a little bit what you do in the game. I mean, yeah. And time trouble on online chess is so lonely. You know, you're just there with your mouse waiting. You know, whereas when it's there, you know, in an over the board game, then you know, that's a lot more interesting and exciting.
Yeah,
and how do you? Well. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say mouse slips is an issue in online chess as well. Like I had one in the British actually. Yeah, when my opponent dropped a queen. So.
Oh no! Just by mouse slip. So what did you do? Yeah. Did you just take it?
I did. The thing is that I was better in the position anyways. So I didn't feel as bad as if it was like equal position. But
just save time for the both of you. Very good. And how do you go about studying chess? Is there things you particularly would recommend to players on how to improve?
Well, at the moment, I've been trying to work a lot on puzzles. I quite like the puzzles on both chess.com and Lichess, and I think it's a great way to really sort of because it's timed as well, so you have to force yourself to be able to actually think within a short period of time. So I tried to do a lot of that, and also work on some endgames as well, using, I guess, Dvoretsky's manual is pretty famous. I really enjoy that. I think it's quite simplified. So yeah.
And what's your favorite part of the game? Opening, middle games, end games, the whole thing?
I would say sort of early middle game. I like the strategy of it. Yeah, I would say early middle game for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you do outside of chess? I know you were studying. Are you still studying for a degree, or what's your?
I am. So I'm going to be going into my final year in about a month, and I'm doing a law degree at the moment. So so most of my time is just like sort of studying at the moment. I'm actually writing a dissertation as well. So that's.
So I imagine with law, there's quite a lot of things you have to remember.
Yes, there is a lot of sort of like statutes and stuff that I have to remember, but it's different now this year because my exams are online, so it's less actually about memory now and just more about having the best revision notes and being able to write the essays. So I think it's a completely different sort of ball game and how you actually approach the exams now.
Yeah. How has the last year been? Have you managed to do anything in person sort of study wise, or has that all been online?
Oh, it's been so weird, actually. I've had nothing online, nothing in person. Everything I've had has been online. All the colleges have been closed. So because I was living in a student house at uni, so it was fine. I was still able to actually...
Is it Oxford you're at?
Yeah.
Oxford University, yeah. Congratulations, yeah.
Thanks. But so I was actually able to be at uni because I had a student house, but for a lot of people it was difficult because the colleges were closed. And I did a term at home and I found it really difficult actually because you don't have access to libraries and stuff, so it's difficult to again motivate yourself, especially when everything's online again and all your tutorials are just everything's online based. So it's the pandemic has made it very strange.
Is that going to change, do you think, this final year, or is it just going to stay all online?
We've been told that our tutorials are going to move back in person, hopefully, but the exams at the moment, they're planning on continuing them online.
Yeah. And what? So you've got one more year of studies, and then you'll get your degree. Are you going to try and stay studying after that, or do some time on chess, or go straight to a job, or have you thought yet what you're going to do?
I'm probably not going to study. I don't really know. I think I do want to continue education later on, but at the moment, I'm not sure what I would do a master's in, for example. So I'm probably going to hold off on that for a bit. But I've got to do a solicitors qualifying exam once I graduate. So that would be, I think I'll be in education for another 2 years actually. So I'll have to do this exam. And then once I do that, I'm hopefully just going to start working at a law firm.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nice.
Now, are you going to keep on playing chess all the time, even when you've got a full-time job? great.
No, I hope so. I hope so, especially once I graduate, when I'm doing this qualifying exam, I hope to have more time. So I do want to focus a lot more on chess in that year. But I'm definitely going to keep on playing for as long as possible. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic because you are the new British Online Women's Chess Champion. An absolutely fantastic result.
Thank you.
How did you find the tournament?
I mean, I really enjoyed it, actually. It was so well organized. We had quite a small field, but a lot of junior players, actually. I think I played around 5 out of my 7 games were against junior players. And we obviously had Ketiva and a grandmaster.
A grandmaster there, so it's no weak field at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you drew your game with Ketty, I think. Is that right?
We drew. I mean, it was a very it was a bit of a crazy game. Like, I think I was better from the opening, and then she missed a near mate, I think. So and at the end, I managed to get myself into a perpetual in, I think, a -5 position. So it was a bit of a double-edged game for sure. But we drew our game.
Excellent. And what's the game you've selected for us to look at today?
So it was my first round game against Olga Latipova. I think she's also a junior player.
Yeah. Have you played her before?
No, this is my first time playing against her. I've heard she's definitely up and coming and quite good.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Good. Shall we have a look at the game?
Yeah. I've got it up there. So if you just share the screen.
To share the screen. All right.
Then we're going to get sort of really tiny next to the screen.
Can you see that all right, Akshaya?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I think the board doesn't. I think that's as big as the board gets, but hopefully that'll be fine for everyone. So we're assuming that everyone's watching it on a super enormous, huge wide screen, of course. So you were black and Olga was white.
Should we flip the board so that black's...
Let's flip the boards. Absolutely. There we are. And Akshaya at the bottom and Olga at the top. So E4, C5. You've always been a Sicilian player, haven't you, Akshaya?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played Sicilian. I think it's the only opening that I've ever played against E4, actually. I think I tried E5 when I was a beginner, but once I actually started learning chess properly, I learned Sicilian and I've continued playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I went through the same stage. I started off as 1E5 just when I was starting off, but actually it never really appealed to me. And as soon as I got the Sicilian, I thought, wow, that's all I want to do for the rest of my life. Have you always played 2 knights C6, or have you played sort of different lines of Sicilian?
So I've played the Taimanov as well, so 2E6. And I've also, I mostly played Accelerated Dragon, actually, so knight C6 and then G6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this was a bit of a surprise for your opponent because you played this sort of offbeat line, didn't you, with Queen B6?
Yeah, Queen B6, yeah. And I prepped the line before the game, and I thought it'd be interesting just to sort of mix it up a bit and try to confuse my opponent. So I think knight B3 is probably the best move here.
Yeah, that's right. But again, I mean, it's a lovely way. It is a lovely way of confusing your opponent, isn't it? Because probably if they were expecting something like the Accelerated Dragon, they weren't looking for this. It's, what are we going to do? Some knight F6, or I guess knight F6, G6, or something, or.
I was looking at knight F6 first.
Okay, yeah.
And then if knight C or bishop D3, I was going to play E6.
Okay, yeah, these standard positions, and it's quite nice really because you've. Just forcing that knight away from the center, it just means that it's not quite able to sacrifice itself as easily. So, really.
Actually, what was the time control for these games, by the way?
It was 45 minutes and a 15-second increment.
Okay, yeah. So reasonably fast, but also enough time to think.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't so bad, but the 15-second increment did get quite tricky when I actually got into time trouble because you forget that's actually not a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just you sort of think, oh, okay, 15 seconds, lots of time. Then by the time you look again, it's 5, and then you've got to make a move. It's oh dear, no, it's really it's I do find that online as well. I find that my hand if I get too nervous, my hand starts shaking, then I find it very hard to actually make a move on the board. So Olga,
hi, let me think. That's Chris Finn.
Oh, hi, Chris. So Olga took on c6.
Yes, and I took back with my b pawn.
Yeah, I like that move. Just I always like having those all those extra pawns in the center. So bishop d3, knight f6, castles, and e5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a nice position for black, isn't it? Really, it's yeah. You've got rid of a knight, so that's one less piece that can attack you. e5 stops white from going e4 to e5, and yeah, nice chances to get a double pawn center as well. So let's have a look. What did white do? White played it quite calmly, really, didn't she? She went knight c3, bishop e7,
yeah,
and then rook b1 just to defend the b pawn. Maybe b3, bishop b2 could have been played, but castles, bishop e3, queen c7, and h3. So all quite just sensible play from white, isn't it? Really, just
yeah.
So,
I mean,
how do you feel about the position here, Akshaya?
I mean, I was pretty happy with the position I got from the opening, but I think I sort of faffed around for a bit too long, so I could have just played d5 right now, but I went for rook d8 instead because I thought that it'd be better to build some pressure. But I think d5 now, and I've got a very comfortable position. But in the game, I was kind of worried about bishop g5 after d5, which is why I decided against it. But after bishop e6, I should have a comfortable advantage, I think.
Yeah, that looks fine. On the other hand, you know, playing moves like, you know, when you play moves like d5, it's a good move, of course, but you know, it's all very clear and the opponent knows what to expect. You know, moves like rook d8, you're still always going to get in d5, and then the opponent just has to think, oh well, you know, what am I going to do about it? And sometimes you get even more by giving the opponent a chance to go wrong. You know, I suppose, you know, than just forcing it all and just playing the obvious moves yourself. And I guess that kind of happened, didn't it? Because she tried to stop you from playing d5.
Yes.
And then got hit with it anyway.
Yeah, I think she should have played f4 actually in this position.
Yeah, I think that's a good
I
move.
think that kind of stops my d5 ideas.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it can feel a little bit scary, maybe to you know, maybe not immediately, but to get these weaknesses around the dark squares. But yeah, it's better to be active, I think, and to try and deal with your plan. Because she went, she went bishop c4,
and I played bishop e7.
Yeah, bishop g5, and now d5. Yeah, and actually, this is even stronger, stronger, I guess, than if you'd done it just immediately with on the 11th move. So yeah, I mean, so e takes d5 and c takes d5, and yeah, this bishop on c4 is hanging, which is the really bad news. And yeah, all sorts of tactics, I guess. Even bishop f6, you could even just have d takes c4, I guess. So so bishop b3.
I was just remembering something. This isn't quite this game, but I remember when you played Akshaya in an Over the Board British, it would have been several years ago and you were tiny, and you were just beating up like all these really well-established players like FIDE Masters, International Masters. I wouldn't remember the names of the people you were beating. You might remember better than me, but it was no, it would have been God, I mean, really quite a long time ago. And do you remember which people have you beaten at the British or had draws with? Some really good players.
I had, I think my best performance in the British was about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think in that tournament I had a draw with Jack Rudd, and I also beat an IM for the first time. I have to admit, I can't remember. I think his name was Chris, but I can't remember his surname. But it was a pretty nice game.
Not Chris Duncan.
No, not Chris Duncan. No.
Yeah.
No, he's not playing.
Yeah, Chris Beaumont.
No.
I guess the Chris. Yeah, fantastic. Because I think my son was playing in like some junior tournament at the time, and so we were playing in the mornings, and then I was coming to watch your games in the afternoons, and I was just every single game, and they were not like just really quick games. It was like positionally outplaying them and all this kind of stuff. It was really, really nice.
I think I beat Charlie Story in that tournament as well. I think it was
yes.
probably one of my best tournaments. I think I made in
Yes.
I think I made in WIM Norm in that event. Yeah.
Yeah. It was at some university, wasn't it?
It was at Warwick. It was at Warwick.
Warwick.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. No, you were doing so well. Anyway, yes. Sorry to divert, but it just came back to me when you were talking about building up this rook d8 against the queen.
So okay, so bishop b3 and then go d4, which is why we love the right? Because you get these sort of pawn centers like this. It's I mean, it's a glorious position, isn't it? This one for black. It's so 92, 94. And we come, takes. And now white sort of felt that she had to take some sort of action, I guess.
Hi, Julio.
Hey, Julio. So and played f4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's some counterplay for white, right? I guess there's some ideas of f takes e5, and then the bishop and the rook are aiming together against f7.
Yeah. But I think it's quite easy for me to defend, I guess. I mean, I can always play rook f8, for example, but Hero played queen c5 and threatening d3.
That's a nice little threat. So threatening d3 check. So queen d3.
And now I played rook d7 to defend the f7 pawn.
Yeah, that's a nice way of doing it. And yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, the problem is this queen is so important to stop d4 to d3, but this queen, this queen is not a great defender. But so
it's true. It's kind of tying the queen down, isn't it? So like it's such a valuable piece to just be blockading a pawn.
Yeah, so it's but white actually was quite clever there. Just got the king out of the way, just to just make sure that the queen might be able to move later. And now you did a nice regrouping here, Akshaya. You did play queen c6. Yeah,
I was hoping to get some knight d2 ideas in, because the queen on I can take on g2 and threaten checkmate.
Yeah. That's a very big threat here. So white blocked with rook f3. But yeah, there's a lot of all these big major pieces are sort of getting in the way and of the minor pieces. So you sort of know what's going to happen there. And you played knight c5, queen d2, and then I like this next move. I thought this was very nice. Queen h6.
I think I missed e4 though. I think e4 is an easier win.
Okay, e4. That is actually very good. I guess rook g3 maybe.
Yeah.
Got to try and cover here, I suppose. But yeah, if you can get an e4, that would be pretty good, right? I mean, yeah, probably rook d8 or something like that, or even e3 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. I do like queen h6 though. It's a nice, cool move, pinning this pawn on f4 and then opening up the line of the bishop. It just feels, feels really nice, you know. And in a way, you know, you can always play e4 later. They're probably not going to be able to stop you. So again, it's nice. It just gives, you know, black the opportunity, white the opportunity rather to go wrong, you know, rather than just forcing the opponent to find the only move, you know. So rook d8. Rook bd1, came back to c6, hitting g2.
I guess I could have gone d3 now potentially.
Yeah, that looks very strong. And I guess maybe we go knight g3 again, I suppose.
I guess even e4 potentially, but
yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I think these plans are always interesting. But I liked what you did. Just you know, keep the diagonal open, keep pressuring g2, keep causing problems, and after knight g3, d3, then white has got quite a few difficulties here. Massive d pawn, can't really be taken. So yeah, what's white going to do? So white played queen f2 here, which I think is a good move, just sidestepping and vaguely looking towards this pawn. I mean, what was the time situation like at this moment, actually? Were you? Because I think Olga plays quite fast, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. I think I actually only had about a minute left, and I was running very low on time, so it was definitely a bit of a time scramble for me.
Yeah. So I think when we've been watching Olga's games, you always see that the moves are coming in thick and fast. I think that's that's one of the joys of being that young. Somehow, it just you just play what you think, and that can often be very dangerous. So E takes F4.
Nanta Krishnan.
Can't take on F4 because of Queen takes G2 check.
Mm-hmm.
So Knight H5 was played. And that's a good move. Threatening to take back with the knight on F4, and then the knight will actually defend G2 as well. So your next moves are just meant to to stop the knight taking F4 and actually leave this knight a little bit passive there, isn't it? Because you took on B3, C takes B3, and Rook D4.
Yeah, can't take on F4 because of Rook F4.
Indeed. Let me just show that variation here. Rook takes F4, Queen takes F4, and Queen, G2 with checkmate. So yeah, this is really difficult now, isn't it? And I suppose, this knight looked like it was going to be a great piece on here, but actually it's kind of trapped. If you can't take on F4, then this knight's got no moves. So this is the kind of position I guess that you do want when you're a bit short of time, really, because you've got pretty nice control, and it's hard to see how White's going to get at your position, and your king's nice and safe as well. So Queen D6 played, just defending F4.
King H1 F3, yeah.
Yeah, Queen E5, and that knight is gone, I think. I suppose White could play Queen H4, I suppose.
I guess I could go F3 now.
Yeah, that looks very, very, very strong. Discovered attack on the queen, and what can you do? G4, F2 check, and the king on H1 is completely.
It's game over.
Game over, indeed. So what happened? I guess probably because you were short of time, a few more moves were played. Takes, but that's a big piece. E6, nice and safe. Experienced blitz player, you can tell. Always make sure that your king is safe. Rook E7, Bishop A8 takes Rook F2, and G2 is hanging, and here White resigned. So that must have been felt like a lovely start to the tournament like that. Just a nice clean game, and occupy the center, and then just push the opponent away. That's what happened actually for your tournament, Akshaya? Did you get off to a good winning run at the start, or did you have some draws along the way?
Yeah, so I had I think I had 3 wins for the start, and then I played against Ketty, and we drew that game, and then I managed to win the remaining game. So that was my
draw. So just the one draw.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very good. That's really impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And I always liked really trying to start off with a nice run at the start. Get some a series of wins. Always gives you lots of energy for the future. But sometimes tough to when you draw a game like you drew against Ketty, to sort of get back into the winning streak. It's but I guess it almost helps when you have a crazy game. If it was always shorter draws that sort of affected me somehow in a tournament. But having a crazy game always just you feel I'm going to survive anything in this tournament. That's
I mean, my game against Ketty could have gone either way, to be honest. So it was a draw in the end, but I didn't feel like it really sort of messed my momentum in any way.
It's I think it's just important to be fighting all the time, and then almost whatever the result. Well, a win's less good, but a lot is less good rather. But almost any result really, as long as you're fighting, it just gives you an awful lot of energy, and it's.
So what's next for you, chess-wise, Akshaya?
I'm playing the Olympiad, actually.
You certainly are. Yes, so that's this week, isn't it? It's what is it? Wednesday it starts.
So it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. and
that's going to be strong, I guess. Yeah, it's
yeah, because we were in a higher division than we started off last time, I think. So so it will be strong. I think you're on the girls board, aren't you? So
yes.
So it depends who they've got as to how strong it'll be. But I think normally it's very strong, isn't it? I think you remind me actually. Last year they were like sort of every round was pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty much every round I played against like 2400s or like 2300s. So it was a pretty strong event.
Yeah. So the question, because I think we could put you as either a woman or a girl, and both ways. There's sort of advantages and disadvantages for both ways. But I think we can't switch you between the two. So I think in the end we thought our best bet is to put you as a girl, and we've got some very strong women players as well, and other strong girl players. So we'll just see how that all goes.
Good luck with that. That's I'm going to enjoy watching that. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Crossed.
Excellent. So that's your next kind of online thing. Any over the board things on the horizon?
Not really. I mean, I was thinking about playing the British Championship finals, the one that's going to be over the board in October.
Yes.
But it's a bit difficult because uni starts again, and it's quite difficult for me to.
Yeah. I know what it's like to take even a week or two off uni. It can be quite tough. Yeah. Fine. So I guess like when because your terms are pretty short, aren't they? You've just got, isn't it just like 8-week terms?
Yeah, 8-week terms. Yeah.
So you should have a little bit of a break, Christmas or Easter or some kind of time.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe I can play some on over the board tournaments then.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well, you've got to watch out. You've got to watch out just filling all your holidays with chess tournaments, and then you go back exhausted to...
She's young. She can do that stuff.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Thanks ever so much, Akshaya, for coming on the show today. We big congratulations on being the women's champion, and very best of luck in the upcoming Olympiad as well. And I hope that goes really well. Just it's like 9 games, isn't it? But between you and Nadia, I think is also playing on that.
Yeah, I think it's
between the two of you,
right?
So again, she's
3 rounds each day.
3 rounds each day. So yeah. So we'll have to work out team tactics and stuff. But very best of luck in that. And good luck also with your studies. And going back to studying in person will be lovely. And whatever over the board holds for you next. So thanks ever so much, Akshaya. And thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
so much. Thanks everyone for watching.